from ScreenJunkies Studios in the heart of Los Angeles, this is Screen Junkies Movie Fights. Now your host, Andy Signore.
Hello everybody, welcome to a live edition of Movie Fights. I am so excited to have an amazing panel here for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited because today we're going to finally reveal if Marc Andreyko liked Deadpool or not. Guys, I don't know if you knew this, but he didn't, he made a bet. Dan, I'm coming to you first because I'm going to have to set up just people. This is big for us. What did he say, Dan?
We went back to the tape and reviewed it. This was last year, I believe last August, and Marc said that he believed that Deadpool was too much of a niche character, that there wouldn't be enough fans to support it, and that it wouldn't be a $100 million movie. And he said that if he was wrong, that he would come back on the show dressed as Deadpool and apologize.
All right, let's see if he did it. Let's cut to the wide. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest, I'm so excited for today's episode, it's Marc Andreyko. A man who lives up to his word.
I am a man of my word.
You can take the hat off. You did it.
Whoa.
It's hot today.
Mr. Reynolds earned his money if it was anything like
I'm
this.
telling you, that is. You were so Ryan Reynolds when you took that off.
Where's your pouches? This is not the Rob Liefeld Deadpool I'm used to.
Well, I was going to say talking to Mike, but maybe not. Marc Andreyko is back, and I'm so honored that you followed your word. Thank you, good sir. We'll talk about it in a minute. But next to him, he's back again. He said he was going to come back. He meant it. He's here. I'm so excited. Mr. Kevin Smith.
Hello. I also made a bet where I was like, if I like Deadpool, I'm going to come to the show dressed like Kevin Smith. And so
You did it.
Here it is. I love the movie.
Kevin, you have a new YouTube channel that you're doing, Kevin Smith's YouTube channel, that I want everybody, if you're watching this, to go subscribe right now because you're doing Fat Man and Batman on it. You're getting amazing guests. You're doing 3 times a week, right?
3 times a week we do the show. That's the only show on the channel. So we can't let you down. Like if you like it, you're there for the for the long haul. It's good. The guy that I host the show with, Mark Bernardin, is excellent.
Oh, he's great.
Mark is great.
I want to get him on the show. He was busy. He couldn't come today.
He was busy.
But we're going to get him.
He's in demand. He's a dude that's in demand all the time.
But guys, check it out and watch Kevin crying during The Flash. I told you I'm going to try and make that a meme. I want to like the Hitler downfall clip.
I did another one. That'd be amazing. Like Kevin Smith crying at his career, crying at Trump, crying at insert, crying at Kanye.
Crying. But thank you for coming back. I love it that when you're here. And fans, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. But next to him, the writer of Honest Trailers, Mr. Spencer Gilbert.
What's up? Good to be back.
Are you the only writer?
It's me. I get some help from the team here, but yeah, it's a 3-man job. Thanks, dude.
It's a writer edition. See,
yeah,
there's a
right.
theme here.
Yeah. Is that what the theme was?
Yes.
I thought it was just like, this is what we could get edition.
Oh, that too.
These 3 guys are on
That's
speed
every
dial,
episode.
pretty much. Wow, man, that's hot.
Yeah, man, it's an honor to be here with you, and I feel a little like Goldilocks with these 3 bears, but I'm excited to get to it.
Let me tell you, man,
gonna
one
be
of
good.
these beds is just right. You're going to find out.
And one of these beds is self-basting right now. So
Fact checking these beds is Dan Murrell over there on the Dan camp. Dan, are you excited for today?
I'm excited to see this is a great panel. This is a great show. Spencer, Marc, I fought this man. He's a formidable opponent, so it's going to be a good fight.
But all right, let's get to it. Today we have pitched the Deadpool sequel. Deadpool here himself will
Boy,
do
you
it.
came dressed.
What is the best
Wore
Batman
down.
movie? And what is the one thing we need to see Star Wars Episode VIII and many more? So here we go. Let's get right to it. Quick plug. I want to announce.
Nope.
live television.
What happened
Oh,
there?
and we're back.
All of a sudden, there were shirtless dudes.
No half measures, GT.
I felt like I was watching CW.
Fight. Let them fight. Round 1. But I was going to say this Oscars Sunday, March 28th.
Nope. February 20th.
Sorry.
So wait, it's not this
February
Sunday.
28th,
It's
next
one
Sunday.
Sunday
Not
from
this
now.
Sunday,
If
next
you live
Sunday.
anywhere near Los Angeles and you live anywhere near
can't
that,
go anywhere.
Oh my God!
the worst.
It took me 45 minutes to get from Doheny to my house.
I live in Hollywood.
Sounds like the Californians.
I live in Hollywood.
Take some Poveda before the fight.
I wish there was an alternate route. It was
But
horrible.
we are going to do a live watch party of the Oscars here at Screen Junkies Central. All your favorites are coming. Marc, you're welcome. Kevin, you're welcome. Spencer, everybody.
I live in Hollywood, so when the Oscars start, it's like thinking Vietnam when they're evacuating.
so came here before. We'll
It's
have
all
snacks. We'll have
helicopters and
bugles. We
crazy.
always
Those
bring
of us that
bugles,
live in
right?
Hollywood, we just run to
Bugles and easy
Burbank.
cheese.
We go over the other side of
But
the
we'll be
road.
watching the Oscars with you live on YouTube and on Plus. You guys can watch with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So don't forget on February 28th, Sunday. Get excited. Mark your Surrey. Remind me. It's Oscar day to watch. We'll be watching you live. All right. As you guys know, I'm basing the arguments, and we're going right into it. Round 1. So Deadpool.
Wait, did you have a plug?
No, that was it.
Okay, great.
That was my plug.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sometimes
Just trying to keep you honest.
Yes, thank you.
I honestly, though, we got to blow up Mark, man. The only thing he said about him was like, he lost a bet. Here's
Yeah,
Mark. Tell him what Mark does.
So, right. Everyone knows what Mark does, but if those who don't, Amazing Writer.
Everybody's
Batman
episode of
Wonder
Movie
Woman.
Fights is somebody's first
Tell
episode.
us
This is my fifth.
He's been on a lot.
This is only a second.
Batman, Wonder Woman, amazing comics. Everyone knows Mark. And Mark, you should. What comic should they go buy right now if they want to learn Mark?
Can I plug?
Wonder Woman 77, the second chapter of my latest story, is online right now on Comixology. I've got a couple of big things that are going to be announced soon that are comics and film and movie related.
Can I plug for him?
Yes.
Mark wrote this amazing, and every time I see him or text with him, I blow him up about it. Mark wrote this amazing series called The Lost, which, if you haven't read it, get it. Like, everybody, sooner or later, who fancies himself a writer, goes, you know what? Maybe I should take a shot at Peter Pan. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, play with the mythos. Steven Spielberg himself did it. And I'm here to tell you that The Lost beats every
Wow,
version.
come on.
It is insanely compelling.
That's a plug.
Is that your announcement that that's becoming a movie? Because if not, there's
Should.
no justice in this world.
No, they did Pan.
Are you willing to say it's better than Pan?
Yeah,
Right
I'm
here,
going
right
out
now?
there.
Okay.
Well, there actually might be some news about that maybe I'll do exclusive on your podcast.
There you go.
Okay.
He's coming to my
Oh,
world.
yeah, with
Well,
freaking
it's
Screen
great. And
Junkies.
actually, thank you very much. That means a lot. When I first met Kevin, I saw him at a diner, and Kevin looks great now. He's lost a lot of weight, and when you get to a certain age, you're like, I'm going to give respect. And when I actually saw him, I said to my friend, that looks like a thin Kevin Smith. So I went over and said hi to him, and he said, and I said, my name's Mark. And he said, Mark what? I said, Marc Andreyko. He goes, The Lost? And I was like,
Nice.
is this an elaborate joke? So
It's a big prank. It's been going for a while.
That's very, very, very appreciative.
It's akin to maybe somebody going to me like, you're Kevin Smith. You were in the Mallrats premiere special on MTV in 1995. Like, it was deep cuts, man. But that book is stellar. Like, you remember a great piece of writing your whole life.
Wow.
That always sticks with me. Anytime somebody says Peter
Now
Pan,
I want him to
I
win.
saw Peter Pan.
Oh, now he's
That's
not
how
gonna
I
say
lay the
it. Now he's
seeds.
okay. You buttered him up. I've never seen him be so buttered up
Yeah,
before.
wow. Slide right out of that costume.
Deadpool
But
is good. Everybody's
Deadpool,
nice to
Deadpool, smash it. So, Real Ross Wayman wants us to pitch a Deadpool sequel, and I want to add on for you guys to cast Cable. Cast your Cable. Tell us the pitch. Give us the pitch, Mark. But before you get to the pitch, you like Deadpool.
I did. I thought Deadpool was actually really, really surprisingly good. Had a couple issues. My biggest issue with the movie was about 50% of the one-liners were great, and then the other ones were kind of like, that's the take you went with?
Still
But-
a 50-50 landing. That's pretty good these days.
The amount of jokes they fit in there, yeah.
It was incredibly well directed. It has the best Stan Lee cameo of all time.
Great opening credits, honest credits.
It was not Van Wilder 2. I thought it was going to be smug. Now you got to give me a little leeway here because Ryan Reynolds' his oeuvre up until that point was a little bit like, look, I'm hot and I'm funny, wah wah, and he was actually really great in the movie. And Leslie Uggams. The movie felt like it was cast for me. I'm like, no one knows who she is, but that's amazing that it's Leslie Uggams. That's amazing that it's this. I enjoyed it greatly. It was certainly one of the better Marvel movies. I'd say it's in the top 5 of the
There we
Marvel
go. So
movies.
where do you want to see him go now? You're up round first.
Well, Ryan said in an interview, he said, I want to see Deadpool have a boyfriend in the sequel because Deadpool's pansexual. And I'm like, well, if you're going to do Cable, and Cable's never, in the comic books, we've never seen Cable with a guy or with a girl, except the little, he's like lone wolf and cubbing with a little kid. I'm like, have Cable come back from the future with amnesia and they hook up. Do some crazy /fiction, really push the fanboys. If you think you broke the fourth wall on this all these guys are like, yeah, man, it's not a typical comic book movie. It's cutting edge.
They're going to break the fourth hole.
Oh, Lord. Let me tell you something. Deadpool hasn't been Deadpooliest until he's been had balls in his mouth, and you're going to see it in the sequel.
So if you're going to commit to that, make Deadpool or make Cable someone hot. And there was an actor who was in a comedy this Christmas called Sisters who surprised me with how funny he was, and his name was John Cena. And I don't know about you, but I would watch John Cena rail Ryan Reynolds for 2 hours.
Oh my God, I just had the same conversation with my mother this morning. And my mother was like an hour and a half at best tiger, but I said 2 hours, like to the elbow.
And I think we're at a place now because an hard R-rated superhero movie from a Marvel character, you can push that boundary. And Disney
you can push the boundary.
Disney's never going to have, I think, openly gay characters in their movies. I just don't think Disney will do that, at least not in our lifetime. I think we're progressive, but Disney's not going to have, the Deadpool cornhole ride.
Well, number one, you can have a gay character in a movie without having to go through the bother of opening a cornhole ride. Well, not every actor in a Disney movie gets their own ride.
All right, we'll come back to. So we have that good start. Kevin, what's your pitch?
My pitch for Deadpool sequel is I'm all for the pansexuality, but I love the relationship with him and Vanessa. So unless she's willing to bring a third in, and her character seems like she might based on the movie and stuff.
The strap-on scene, hell yeah.
Right,
And
exactly.
straight girls love watching guys have sex. They watch more gay porn than gay guys. It's
Is
a
that
fact.
right? Nobody watches more gay porn than me, Mark. I'll tell you that right now. Because I'm always sitting there going, how do they do it? No strings. It's amazing. So here's my pitch.
Poppers and lube.
Is that how it's
Jesus, all
done?
right.
So I hear. So I
This
hear.
is the R-rated edition. I'm sorry.
We're
In
going-
honor of Deadpool, I can't control it. I apologize. I normally try. Go ahead.
Here's my pitch. Deadpool goes to hell. He has to. I'm stealing it right from Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run. When Swamp Thing went to hell to save Abby Arcane. Vanessa, whatever the bad guy is, I don't care if it's Cable or not. Cable, by the way, should be played by Idris Elba. Somebody, don't go to me. That was genius. Look at that. There it is, right there.
Is he Ant-Man there? What is that?
That was from that
Pacific
movie
Rim.
where they were Shogun warriors fighting each other.
Pacific Rim, yeah.
The rim job movie. So he goes. So the villain kills Vanessa, and Deadpool has to go to hell to save her soul. So he has to die. But as we know, he can't die and stuff. So he's got a ticking clock. If I come back in a certain amount of time with her soul, I'll be alive. She'll be alive and stuff. It's a comic book. You take liberties.
To break the fourth wall, you're going to call it Deadpool Development Hell.
God, this is why you bring Marc Andreyko. What a writer. That's absolutely, what a great title. And you could also bring him to heaven and stuff, because why not? Let him fuck around with God a little bit. Not literally, but like say some things. Ryan Reynolds mouthing off to God, that's what I think about when I close my eyes and masturbate. So put that in a movie, and you got all my money. Take it all.
Spencer, what are you picking?
Speaking of masturbation, so I'm going with Deadpool 2 Electric Boogaloo. Is the title of my movie. I think every sequel should have to have that subtitle. It's starring Ryan Reynolds. Bryan Cranston is the Cable in my movie. It's
The
Pull,
Cable.
man. Good pull.
yeah, he's grizzled. He's old enough. I think you could put him on HGH and he'll fill it out nicely. So
And he hasn't been in a movie in 12 minutes.
in 12 minutes because Deadpool's all about fan service. It's servicing the fans. Let's get a fan favorite like Bryan Cranston in there. So mine is a road trip movie. Vanessa is actually gone. She's dumped Deadpool, moved to LA to pursue her porn career because that relationship was not gonna last. It was based on sex. It was based on attraction, and he looks like Burger. She's gonna leave. So he's
It's the heart of the movie.
yeah, but
It's not the reason
they're
why I love
shallow
the movie.
people. So she's moved across to LA.
You just ruined Deadpool for me, man. I'm gonna put on a costume.
Weasel's trying to cheer him up, taking him to Chimichangas, something we didn't see in the first one. And Cable comes back from, I've traveled from some alternate timeline and I've seen a vision of you saving the world. Deadpool's not interested. He's depressed. He's masturbating. That's, by the way, the scene we leak to promote the movie is just Deadpool masturbating. That's the only footage we released
We can
to,
shoot
to
that
build
scene
hype.
right now. Put the mask on.
Keep talking about my writing, and I'll do it right here, man.
Put the mask on. Something you hear all the time at night. Put the mask on, Mark.
That reminds me of
Oil up the mask.
Catholic grade school.
Go ahead, Spencer.
Yeah, I forgot where I was, but he the
Cable shows up.
He refuses the call to save the world, but then my vision was in Los Angeles. Oh, he's gonna go back to L.A. to win back his girlfriend, save the world, and it's a road trip movie with Cable, Weasel, and Deadpool driving across country.
I find that as impenetrable as an Israeli film. I don't even understand what happened in that pitch.
It's a buddy comedy on the road.
Yes.
Kedpool is my
Now I'm
shit.
back
I'm
in.
shipping him. I'm
Deadpool.
shipping him like
This
yours.
little kid wears sneakers.
Yeah, it's kind of like a buddy, like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Deadpool on one end
Cable?
and Cable on the other end.
That's what I'm suggesting. Deadpool on one end and Cable on the other
to
end.
save the world, save his girlfriend.
I'm gonna need help on this one. So at hashtag Movie Fights Live, please tell me which movie sequel
Are
you're
you
liking
kidding
so
me?
far.
You're going to need help on this one?
I'm just
His
kidding.
is
I'm
eliminated
kidding.
right from the
I'm
jump. The
involved.
moment you remove
but
Vanessa from the
but
proceedings, there is no movie.
The railing of the 2-hour-long railing of
I'd pay to
Cable
see
is
that.
in.
Come on, you wouldn't pay to
2
see that?
hours?
All right, maybe 90 minutes and a little bit of plot, but I'd pay to see that. I'd be like, now they're talking.
Can you imagine the ad campaign if they did the "I'm not going to quit you" with Cable and Deadpool, like the Brokeback Mountain thing? That would be hilarious.
If you're going to do the Brokeback Mountain, then they got to be like,
Oh,
spit
yeah.
in the hand. That was the hottest part of that
Oh
movie.
no, Deadpool would like do that into his hand, like pop something on his gross
Juice in his face.
It's good, but
Mark
like
takes it there, man.
it's like shocking for shocking's sake. If it's just fucking, like that's a porn.
That's my point. They should be making love with Vanessa, his girlfriend, and you left her out altogether.
You said it was R-rated, man. I put on this costume. I don't give a shit.
And I guess my only issue with Deadpool in Hell is like what I loved about the Deadpool is that they kept it kind of contained and simple and kind of low budget. And I think if you go to Hell, you're automatically introducing it's all CGI. There's demons.
But the
popping
good
out
news
of the
is your
place.
director's Tim Miller, who owns Blur Studios. They were able to do that movie for what, less than $60 million?
Yeah.
So he could pull off Hell for another $10 million.
And
But if you give him more money, he's going to be less creative. Because
Bullshit! This guy works in the video game business, man. He is ultra creative, and he finally got to do something. So I say he's not one of these cats that's like, I need $200 million to do my next flick. I guarantee you he sticks pretty close to his budget. I mean, he's found a comfort zone and become insanely successful.
And the
doing
more
that.
he stays on budget, the more freedom they're going to give him.
No kidding.
If he had wanted $120 million, Deadpool would have been PG-13. There would have been no swearing, no blood, nothing. He did this movie. This movie has already made globally, has made 5 times its budget in 5 days. This movie might cross $1 billion. That is insane.
Yeah.
They're
For
going to let
this
him do
movie,
whatever
that's
they
the
want.
insane part. It's not insane for a comic book movie.
No,
to do
but
that
for
kind
an
of business.
R-rated movie
But for
with
this
Ryan
movie-
Reynolds with a character no one knows, it's
because of the fans and staying true to the character, and I think that
So
they
how
want to
does-
see
yeah,
it.
well, how do these each stay close as the character?
Well, it's a comedy, which Deadpool 1 was. It's first and foremost a comedy, and Bryan Cranston has comedic chops, Malcolm in the Middle, and you want to see him. He can also reach that rage level that he did with Heisenberg and Breaking Bad. Just seeing the two of them together, making their way across America, getting kidnapped, solving crime, whatever they do to get to L.A. Then they have the big final showdown on the Fox lot, breaking the fourth wall, capturing Simon Kinberg, making him rewrite the ending of the movie. So Cable's recast as Keira
This sounds
Knightley.
hauntingly like Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, but
Which I like it.
All right, Mark, where do you stand based on these arguments?
Well, if we're
Final thoughts.
gonna suck up like that, Cable and Deadpool work at a video store in New Jersey,
Fucking
okay.
A.
and Black Bolt is
Now we're
like
talking.
Silent Black out front.
He can't say
He
anything
can't
or else
say
the
anything.
universe ends.
Yeah, and Lockjaw is his little buddy. And instead of carrying like alcohol on that little thing around his neck like a Saint Bernard, he has joints. It's like a vaporizer.
All right,
No,
yeah.
no, I'm just kidding.
Final,
No.
final thoughts, Kevin?
My final thoughts?
Yes.
I think mine's the best. I'll be honest with you. I listen to all of them. I think mine's pretty strong.
Because
Oh, here's why. I think you get to do all your comedic elements with Deadpool in heaven and hell. In fact, you get to go way crazier. We've seen him on Earth. Now let's take him elsewhere, would be my pitch. But at the same time, like you get hard-ass action with Cable. Idris Elba as Cable, which, by the way, is a more inclusive Cable.
It's like bundled Cable, right?
Thank you very much, Mark. It is. It's Bundling Cable, which is the subtitle of the movie.
That's my
Your
version.
version. Deadpool 2 Bundling Cable.
Or hard ass Cable.
all right, Dan.
Yes.
Any cleanup over there?
Well,
only one of these is a
I'm
story.
trying to tabulate.
Don't fuck this up, Dan!
I'm trying to
check it.
trying to tabulate the votes.
Put your
and
dick
fact
back
check.
in your pants, Dan.
I will say, I just before the camera cut to me, I was able to do it. I will say that people are mentioning this as consecutive weeks. The Swamp Thing has come up on the
Yes.
show, which is a rarity.
Alan
for
Moore
me.
Swamp Thing?
And
No, he didn't mention Alan Moore.
he did not mention Alan Moore, and I'm just looking at the results. I've done some tabulation, and I think I can announce a winner based on the Twitter votes. It was close, but I believe I have a winner.
Who's got it?
Here, well, he wants me to judge. I want to judge first before, so they don't taint my ruling.
You said taint.
You
knew
had
it
to
as
take
soon as I said
it
it.
there. You had to make it dirty,
Trying to think of another
Andy.
word. I couldn't do it quick enough.
Taint your ruling or
Based
rule
on
your
the
taint?
arguments,
We are for.
I think you both just kissed his ass a little bit too much, and ultimately, I think that was your
I
downfall.
won by default?
And Kevin's pitch was really great, and so Kevin gets the point.
Actually, I would go see a Deadpool Go to Hell movie. Only with John Cena, though.
I've never seen Mark so docile.
Look at me fighting like old timey boxing.
That's the key. Just butter him up at the start, Dan, and then
Yeah.
I know. I'm
look at
shocked.
this like kicking
What happened
over
to the
here.
claws? Yeah.
Just wait.
What was the poll results?
I do have to say that Spencer made a nice showing, but Kevin was the winner.
Homophobes.
I give all credit to Alan Moore. I stole that from him, so
You're
he
allowed.
deserves the
We
credit.
asked you to. It's fine. Round two. This one comes from Mo Parks 89. Mo Parks 89. Mo money, Mo Parks, Mo problems. I was sorry.
You're so white.
This question
You
is
can
a movie
dance to
fights.
that, though. Mo Parks, Mo Parks. I'm sorry.
Mo Recreation.
Mo problems. Mo Parks, Mo Recreation.
This question is movie fights rematch of sorts. Colton J. Parks asked us which existing property needs a horror adaptation or reboot. So what do we want to see remade or something existing that we want to see a hard R version of in honor of Deadpool? There's going to be a lot of them, I'm sure, made now, whether they're right or wrong. And Spencer, we're starting with you this time.
Oh, okay.
Sure. What's the... there's dogs in here. What's your hard R adaptation?
I'm gonna go with the obvious choice, but it's obvious for a reason. Wolverine.
Yes.
Wolverine. I think as of this morning, it's actually happening. But
Did they say it?
yeah, I think so. I think this is getting more and more official with the success of Deadpool. But I mean, I want it not to just be R for R-rated sake. I want it to be true to the character. And this is a mutant berserker rage machine with giant knives for hands. That is not a PG-13 character. From his powers to his backstory to his general just mood, this is an R-rated character. He deserves a movie like that.
Okay, we'll hear more. Kevin, what's your pick?
I like the Wolverine idea as well, man. I almost want to back that, but I got to stand with something separate. Wolverine makes a lot more sense, though, particularly Wolverine 3. It's the last time, I'm going to help his argument. It's the last time that Hugh Jackman's going to play the role.
It's like a giant
Let
circle
him
jerk.
go out, like, cutting heads off. Because remember in X-Men 2, when he finally pulled them and, like,
That was
jacked
the
the
one
dude
good
into the
moment
fridge?
of X2.
And we
Everyone
all
cheered.
lost our
He
shit.
stabbed
We're
the
like,
guy with his
"Finally!"
hand claws.
Exactly. So more of that, but with an exploding jugular, and he's getting it in the eye, and he's like, not the face, neck, and chest. All of it. Just let him be gory for one movie, man, before he hangs up the claws, if you will.
All of his fans have aged with him. We're all 17 and up now. So let's do it.
Are you
Thank
siding with
Kevin.
him, or are you going to give us an argument?
Oh, I should argue my own case. Batman, I think, deserves an R-rated version. Now, a lot of people are like, Batman's for kids, but I don't think that. Batman was for kids when I was a kid, but like my Batman has been Frank Miller's Batman Forward, which is everybody's adult Batman and stuff. And yes, it appeals to children. And just like there are many different Batman toys at Toys R Us, they have little kitty editions and stuff. And then grown up, don't take this out the box because it's got 86 points of articulation figures. We can have a grown-up Batman movie for those of us who are mature enough. And I'm not saying like make it R so we see the Wayne's blood drain out of their bodies as they die in Crime Alley. No, but somebody like you got the Joker. Like, could you imagine an R-rated Joker, man, where he can like think about Chris Nolan's Dark Knight, which was wonderful, and I take nothing away from it. But all of the most violent scenes, is especially with a dude with a knife. There's nothing. There's no blood. You don't see anything. They cut away and stuff. I know it wouldn't make the movie better, but like, how crazy scary would the Joker be if you saw him draw blood just once, not like his own blood getting punched? So I'm gonna vote for Batman.
So, existing people now currently, would you do the Ben Affleck, Jared Leto? Or we're talking a separate standalone adult version outside the DCU.
I think here, I mean, Affleck, he's getting to do his own standalone Batman movie. Like, if I'm him right now, I'm like, guess what? I'm doing R. They're going to let me do this anyway. I'm going to make a Batman movie regardless. And now with Deadpool, the case can be made for like, let me make a grown-up movie. I make these Boston movies. They were all grown up, R-rated. They got good money at the box office. Let me do it with Batman. He could be the guy that crosses the threshold. It'd be historic if all of a sudden, I mean, you know, not as historic as like the founding of our nation, but it'd be historic in the movie business if all of a sudden that dude was like, I'm going to step forward and do the R-rated
I mean,
Batman.
that would be way more
It'd be amazing.
historic, right?
And it would make like...
And the founding of our nation. I mean,
Think about
R-rated
it.
Batman. I love it. Great. I love both of these. Mark, what's your pick?
Well, it's ironic that Kevin brought up Alan Moore's Swamp Thing earlier because I would do Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
Oh my God, you win.
I think,
you win.
Fuck
Fuck yes.
Of all the great stuff Alan Moore has done in his career, Swamp Thing is, if I could only have one bit of his library, it would be Swamp Thing. Because it was this gothic romance, this horror film. It was smart, it wasn't smug, it wasn't too glib for the room. And now we have the technology to do the great stuff with Swamp Thing. You know, he reimagined that character where Swamp Thing could grow out of people's stomachs from the floral bacteria in them.
Remember the anatomy lesson?
Or remember
where he introduced the idea of planarian worms?
Yeah, planarian worms.
Where it's like the planarian worm. If you
know,
chop it up, it could do its own race.
Arcane is the villain who died and comes back as Abby's dead husband, and all these mutant, these unmen that he makes like heads that walk around on hands. And there was this great, one of the best, the only time a comic book ever scared me as a kid was I was reading an issue of Swamp Thing, and it's when Abby finds out that her husband is actually dead and she's been sleeping with her uncle in her husband's body. And she says, "What do you want me to say?" And he says, "Just say uncle." And you see what he looks like. And do a hard R, balls out horror movie. Give Guillermo del Toro $80 million. Get, Gary Oldman to play Arcane, and just do a really great horror movie with all the vines and the swamps and the gothicness. I think you could, both Wolverine and Batman, I think we could definitely see R-rated movies. I think the new one's going to be R-rated, and I think Suicide Squad's Cable's going to make $1 billion, Deadpool's going to make $1 billion, so I won't be surprised if Warner says, fuck, Suicide Squad's rated R. That trailer should be rated R, in my opinion, and I love it. But a Swamp Thing has never been done right. on screen. And I think this is something that would cross a lot of boundaries, and I think you could make a really great scary movie. And now we know that people will go see R-rated movies. That has opened so many doors for so much creativity that I want to see what a cool CG practical Swamp Thing horror movie is going to be. Because ultimately, at the heart of a Swamp Thing movie is this romance between Swamp Thing and Abby. And all good movies need this emotional center. And this has such a great, sweeping, almost Shakespearean romance in it, along with the horror. It's just brilliant. And I think it's something that I think would be a huge, huge, huge hit.
All right, guys, fight it out.
I guess what I'm bumping up against is the question is not what do you want to see as art, what needs to be rated R. And I think you can do a PG-13 Swamp Thing because it's more about.
Have you read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing?
Yeah, but you can do it with he's a pile of mulch. Like you can do that with CGI, and the important things like you said, the relationship and like the weird bizarreness of it.
They have sex. They have sex. She eats his tubers, and that's
and
literally taken from
balls,
the book.
yeah.
And she trips balls. So you could do that. You could show vegetation sex in this weird kind of
quasi. I think you can do that in PG-13. You can have sex with a plant on PG-13.
But this would be an R-rated movie based on just the whole feel and tone of it. We've seen almost an R-rated Batman movie. We've seen an almost R. We already know what an R-rated Batman and an R-rated Wolverine movie are going to look like. They're just going to be bloodier, and the violence is going to be more brutal.
I disagree. I mean, we've seen the PG-13 Batman. They got away with a lot. The Joker drawing blood once, like he makes the guy's pencil disappear in his eye. Does it really add anything to see blood shooting out?
It would have for me. Honestly, I was sitting there, where's my money shot? And I was like, there's no blood. How am I supposed to finish?
But I mean, Batman is a character. His whole thing is he won't kill.
He's a good point.
What do you need an
just
R-rating
weaken
for?
Markman. Shut up. You're right. Batman doesn't need any blood.
He doesn't need to kill. He's a
But
good guy. And then
between these two
Wolverine,
men.
by his nature, is a vicious berserker rage, and he's trying to contain that, but it comes out sometimes, and he murders people with his knife hands.
But your argument about Batman and the pencil in the eye thing can be used in Wolverine. We saw X-Men 2 where he stabbed soldiers. We stabbed the guy in the
He did it once, and it was the highlight of the entire franchise.
Of my life.
But what are gouts of blood going to add to that? We already have seen it. And I actually think that Batman Dark Knight was even more effective because we didn't see blood. You don't see when he cuts when he cuts Michael Jai White's face open and when he puts the pencil in there. And what you don't see is more terrifying than anything we can imagine. And
It's not just gouts of blood when he's stabbing. It's his healing factor. You want to see Wolverine get melted down to a skeleton.
We
and
did.
saw that in that third X-Men movie.
And the Wolverine, when he got nuked and melted, we've seen all that stuff. We've seen... Swamp Thing is something we've never seen before. The technology between when Wes Craven did and I enjoy the campy movie from the 80s. It has
Second one was actually closer to the Alan Moore stuff they have been developing.
Except for Heather Locklear.
Yeah. That's Abby
She
Arcade.
saw that movie and that's why she's a drunk now. Too soon.
Holy shit, just a drive-by on Locklear, man. He's just like,
She
and there, fuck you!
She's a babe.
Fuck you for TJ Hooker! Like, wow, Mark. Save the vibe.
Final
Save
thought,
the
Mark.
Venom for people who need it.
What?
Final thought.
I think Swamp Thing is something we haven't seen before, and I think there's more wonder to be had there. I know what a Wolverine and a Batman R-rated movie are going to look like.
Final thoughts, Kevin.
I think Mark lost his argument with that Heather Locklear drive-by. How can you award a man who would hit an innocent woman like that?
I didn't hit her.
Vote Kev.
Final thought, Spencer.
I think
you don't need him, Spencer. Spencer's going to win that round because Kevin really assisted you a lot,
thanks,
and then I think you made a valiant effort against why he doesn't need to be R. Mulch, yes, there's things, but you can show PG-13 sex. Let's got rid of the formalities. Spencer won that one hands down. Dan, anything to add?
Yes, Fox handed out a pamphlet at Toy Fair 2016, which is going on this week, promoting their upcoming releases. It said the Wolverine 3 anticipated rating R.
Yes!
Also,
That's how you leave it.
Warner Brothers Animation is currently in production on Killing Joke animated movie with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill from the animated series. They've been given the go-ahead, if they want to make it an R rating.
Oh, what a glorious
But
age we live in.
there's no word yet on whether that will actually
Man,
be.
Tim Miller allegedly leaks that footage, and now
Look what happened.
The amazingness that's going to happen.
Disney announced they're going to do a Bukkake Frozen.
Oh,
seen that on the internet already.
God damn it, Mark, let it go.
I think we found our hashtag for the day.
I don't want to see that snowman.
Do you
Star
want
Wars-
to make a snowman?
Don't. Star Wars Episode VIII has officially started filming, all right? So we want to know, what's the one thing you want to see in Episode 8? What's the moment, the thing that we need to see for this movie to win? Characters, new ideas, scenes, etc. We're starting with you, Kevin. What's the one thing you want to see in Episode 8 to make it great?
Look, I know if I wanted to win the fight, I'd be like, Boba fucking Fett, plus Greedo, plus fucking Power Droid. But I'm not going to go deep cuts. I'm going to go emotional. Where's my camera? This one? I'm going to make an emotional appeal. This is what I need to see in Star Wars Episode 8.
Spoiler alerts.
Spoiler. Big time spoiler. I just need a scene where Leia, Chewie, and anybody that loved Han Solo are sitting around talking about Han Solo. It's the only thing I was missing from The Force Awakens. We were coming to a conclusion. I get it. I don't fault JJ and be like, he fucked it up. No, not at all. The movie was ending and shit. But there's a moment where Chewie comes off the transport, walks right past Princess Leia, or sorry, Queen Leia, whatever fuck, General Leia.
Admiral.
Admiral Leia. Akbar Leia. But that moment, like, you know, Leia goes and hugs Rey, who just met, you know, Han Solo. Hug the fucking walking carpet who's like, he was my life. Like, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? I have no fucking friend. And I've got a very heavy laser crossbow. I want to see that scene, the scene where they commiserate or they eulogize Han Solo.
Mark, what's your pick?
I think that I would like to see a Star Wars movie that isn't about that one family. It seems like it's becoming like a soap opera where eventually, or like
Bush Clinton,
where everybody's like related to everybody or knows somebody. I would like to see, because the universe is so vast, I would like to see a kid on a planet so far removed away from all the battle that hears about it, but their planet's not really affected by it, decide to do the right thing and join the resistance. Kind of like in the 40s when you had, like, you know, you had movie stars give up their career and go join to fight the Nazis. Somebody who's not related to anybody, an everyman who just decides to make himself a hero, who's not destined to become a hero, or not the third cousin of Kylo Ren, or, you know, Ben Kenobi's dry cleaner. I just think that it becomes so more...
His former roommate.
Right down Ben Kenobi's dry cleaner, because in an expanded universe, that's vital.
It's just a problem. I mean, I know we as humans, we like interconnectedness, but, you know, when you watch like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was great, and I love Buffy, but by the end of it, Xander was the only one that didn't have powers, and it took away the specialness and the metaphor of it. I would like to see a new, and you can introduce outside the established universe, just have somebody who decides to do that. What if, you know how like in the Harry Potter movies, Neville in the last movie ends up becoming he's like the hero. He like changes the course of that movie. How great would it be if somebody who's not related to any of these families is the one that changes the course of the war? I think it's more empowering.
We could build a whole new trilogy around them.
Yeah. Well, of course you could, and then you can have his family be all the ones that are destined to take things over later.
I love it. Let's get Spencer in the fight. We'll come back.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine's a little more modest. I want to see Luke Skywalker at the height of his powers, to quote Hal Rudnick. This is the most powerful Jedi of all time in the entire galaxy, and he's just standing there on this rock. Let's see what he can do, or in a flashback, what he's done. How cool would it be if he's pulling Star Destroyers out of the sky with his hands, or if he's catching a lightsaber with his bare hands? Some kind of feats of Jedi strength that we haven't seen before out of Luke Skywalker, who's really been relegated to, like, he's good with a lightsaber. He hits the shot on the Death Star, but
he's the blonde.
He's the blonde. He's kind of generic. Let's see him as a grizzled old man kicking ass.
All right, guys, fight.
Mark, when you were talking, I just kept thinking, that's Finn. Like, Finn's the guy that joins up, that was kind of not related to anyone and gets pulled into the story.
But I was also at the same time, as you were selling that movie, I was like, okay, who's related to who? Like, that's what I want. I'm like, how do they all relate to Darth Vader?
Yeah, I just feel like that, you know, but Finn was a stormtrooper, so he was already involved. I would like to just see the way, for a movie series that claims to take place in a giant, vast, galactic war, it takes place like in Akron, Ohio. It's like everything takes place within
on Tatooine, right?
Like a 10-mile radius. Show the expansion of it. Show the vastness of this. Show, you know, like back in, you know, in the history when the Roman Empire was like 2/3 of the planet. Show 2/3 of the galaxy doing this, and there are going to be outposts that are like, yeah, we hear there's a war, but we never see it. It's fine here, you know.
But to be fair, with the Roman Empire, even though they did have 2/3 of the planet, we only ever hear the 3 fucking stories.
Yeah.
It's always the same characters,
all
dude. So even though exactly, it's like as vast as it can be. People are like, "Fuck a farm boy, I want to see Jedis."
I think there's something interesting there. I think there's some character stuff, because I think now in this age of great technology and affordable special effects, we need to humanize these stories more. And because they just become watching video games for 2.5 hours, I need more of an inroad of connection and emotional connection.
Sure, but for me, Finn was that outsider, and then in the original trilogy, Han Solo was that outsider that kind of pulled us in and grounded it, and he wasn't involved with this whole crazy space war. He was just a regular guy trying to do a job.
But he wasn't the lead. You know?
Oh, you're saying the lead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Han Solo?
So you're pitching a new lead character.
A new lead character, yeah.
So get rid of Rey, get rid of everyone else.
Well, Disney's gonna make a new Star Wars movie every 3 days, so it's not like they're never gonna be seen again.
But we're talking about Episode 8. Are we getting rid of them in Episode 8 and to introduce this new person?
It would be great to do in Episode 8 this, yeah, and then have those other characters be in the background and see the out.
You just lost. You just lost with those very words.
Well, that's fine.
And Kevin, why did he lose?
Why did he lose? Because
George R. R. Martin did it in Game of Thrones.
It's true, but we're in the middle of the rebirth of our space opera, and it's been placed in wonderful hands who kind of brought it back to life in such a way where we're all excited about it again. Key elements of what made Force Awakens so successful is the past, is the Luke, the Leia, the Han, the Chewie and stuff. So, I can't see just when they're like, we've had massive success, let's throw it to the winds and fucking focus on a kid from a planet we've never been
Empire,
to.
ballsier than Empire.
It'd be way ballsy, but I don't know if that's the way. I personally wouldn't want to see it, and I like your ideas.
That's
stuff.
fine. But what is your movie other than one scene of them sitting on Han Solo's dead booty?
But he asked, what do I want to see in the next movie?
Part,
so all I had to do is provide a scene. You over-delivered, motherfucker. Just because you're an overachiever and you wrote a whole new space opera, don't come down on my dick when I answered the question.
And Kevin, yours sounds like Bill Brasky. Han Solo, man, wasn't he?
I was on your fucking side, bitch. I helped you convince me.
It's a movie fight.
Fucking, I thought we
To
were in
Han
allegiance.
Solo. Remember when he made the Kessel Run? Han Solo.
Everybody on the internet just blew up going, that's a scene. That's amazing.
what's Chewie
You
gonna
referenced
say?
the Kessel
Are you gonna
Run and they're drinking and they said Han Solo.
Are you going to subtitle Chewie? What's he going to say?
Chewie's gonna be like, and there will be subtitles going, I wish I had shot him in the fucking head.
This is what happens. The busboy at the bar where they're eulogizing Han Solo is my guy who's inspired by Han Solo, who's not
tied
related
in.
to everything who goes in.
All right, so it
Yours
starts
is just
with my
Luke going,
scene.
blowing shit up.
Yeah, you're just like, I want to see Luke fight. You'll get there, man. We've seen that too. He gets his hand cut off whenever he fights. This movie, though, can dovetail nicely with my movie. My movie starts, your movie takes over.
I just don't know if there's enough nice to say about Han Solo. He's kind of fucked over all these people that would be giving his eulogy for a long
Internet,
time.
I just
They
want,
might
right?
not
You
have
hear him attacking your hero.
They might not have
He
many
hates
nice
Han
things like,
Solo.
well, he abandoned our kid. He
Well, what do you- if your kid was Adam
We're not
Driver,
judging
you'd
this based on
abandon
good
him too.
parenting. If we were, the whole Star Wars saga's fucked up.
Yeah,
it's
I
all
guess
about bad parenting.
He was nice enough that one time when he had to, when the galaxy was at stake.
Star Wars
Whenever
is,
he wanted to kiss a girl or save the galaxy, he was all right.
Star
for
Wars
me-
has become a metaphor for birth control.
I feel like, the Force has awakened, right? That even a little wimp like Kylo Ren can stop blaster bolts with his bare hands and do all kinds of awesome stuff. Luke Skywalker's more powerful than Yoda. He's more powerful than Sidious. He's more powerful than any of these
But
guys.
we've never seen that. We're told that.
Yeah,
That's
let's
what
see
his
it.
point is. You're
Let's
helping him
fucking
out.
see it.
You're gonna help him win. I did that before. It's
No,
stupid.
but it's not helping. It's not helping him win. It's like Kanye saying, "I'm better than Stanley Kubrick." Okay, the more you tell me you're important, the less important
Show
you
don't
really
tell,
are.
man. Luke's gonna show it in Episode 8.
Oh, we've been waiting for that for 4 movies now.
Great.
I think we're all onto something. All we need is a movie where it begins with them eulogizing Han Solo, a badass Luke Skywalker cuts Kanye in half. Credits. 5 minutes and
Done.
make billions of dollars.
Final thought, quickly.
I'm flatlining.
Final thought.
I still feel that I'm the winner.
Final thought.
Powered up Luke Skywalker crashing Star Destroyers with his mind.
It's actually, him crashing Star Destroyers did grab me. I was like, holy shit. Just going like,
Dan, anything to add there from the commenters?
Nothing to add, but if you ask me, I think one thing that Episode 8 needs is a giant spider in the third.
yeah, bitch. John Peters was right.
Gay polar bears.
Yes! Old white men fucking. That's what a polar bear is, right?
Dick
Van Dyke and-
I think based on the arguments, it came down to Kevin and Spencer, but I think Spencer had a few more jabs as to why Finn. We've seen it, and he's kind of a bad dad, and those are pretty great points.
That's not.
But,
we love
and
going
then
to
Mark
the
didn't
movies.
help the matters for, and definitely helped you a little bit. With we've been holding off. Let's see it. So I got to give Spencer the point.
Spencer did it, everybody. Look at that. Look at that board. Mark,
Sprint. That's fine.
fucking goose egg up there, man.
That happens.
All right, round 4. Now, Movie Dude 90 wants to decide what is the best Batman movie. Now,
Excuse me, I don't relate to Movie Dude 90, only Movie Dude 89. This guy's a fucking pretender.
we have straws over here, I think. Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Don't look. Oh, they saw they're colored.
yeah.
They're
I
color
know.
coded.
Did you see?
No.
Who did?
No,
I didn't. Who knows what color's what?
I have to make them all even, right? That's how this works. I don't know how to draw straws.
Didn't you ever see like a war movie?
Here's how this
I'm
works.
picking things out of a hat.
Here's how this works. I'm going to draw. You're all going to draw straws. Whoever picks first gets to pick their Batman first. This is a blind fight. We want to know what's the best Batman movie. You can pick any Batman movie. Got it? Nolan, old one, all of them. So
The
you can
movie
pick.
serials of the 30s?
It has to be a movie. I mean, not no TV shows, but a movie. If they made a movie of it, it counts. You will be able to pick in order based on your drawing of straws. Mark is first. So go ahead and pick your straw. Got it. Let's just know our place. And that means
that's a long straw. Is that
Look
good?
at that.
Yeah, what is it
don't know
good?
how to draw
Long or
straws.
short wins?
Let's
The
put 'em
long,
up.
if you get the short straw, you lose.
You lose. So
Mark,
Spencer
line 'em up.
goes first.
We both got short straws, no?
No, Mark
Oh,
goes
I've got a
last.
second one.
You're middle. So this is in order. Spencer, Kevin, Mark.
Why does size
Spencer-
gotta matter in a movie fight? That shouldn't be.
Just give it to Spencer. We're running late.
Spencer gets to go
fix
first.
is in.
You get to pick your Batman. What is it going to be?
My
Best
favorite.
Batman movie.
My favorite superhero movie of all time, for the people that call us Marvel Junkies, is Batman Begins. This is my favorite Batman film, my favorite superhero movie. This is coming on the heels of Batman and Robin, so it's the single biggest improvement from a Batman movie to one. This is the only Batman movie, I will contend, where Batman is cooler than the villains. He always plays second fiddle to the Joker, or Two-Face is cooler than him. This is all about Batman. He's not even the character Batman till like an hour into the movie. It's all about Bruce Wayne. It's all about his motivations. It's character-driven, and you still have a pretty cool villain in Ra's al Ghul. They set up the great casting of Christian Bale and Morgan Freeman and stuff like that, so he's my pick. Batman Begins.
All right, Kevin, you got to draw the second straw. Which Batman are you picking?
I mean, I didn't think I was going to be able to, but since it's ripe for the picking, I'm going to take Dark Knight, one of the greatest American films ever made, ladies and gentlemen. You're not just talking about a Batman movie. You're talking about a cinematic experience coming from one of the premier directors of this very nation of the United States, Chris Nolan, who I think came from England at one point, and Chicago. This kid... Chris Nolan, he's going to go places in life because he knows what to do with this Bat character. He had an ample setup time with Batman Begins, which I found rather joyless. I remember watching Batman Begins and being like, wow, that's real serious. He's treating this very seriously. But that tone that he set in the first one served the second one, because at that point your template is there and you can bring in the best cinematic Joker that's ever lived. And that's saying something, because Jack Nicholson crushed the Joker in Tim Burton's 1989 Batman, but Heath Ledger, man, reinvented that character for a whole new generation. That movie, whether you like comic books or not, you can totally watch that movie. My mother loves The Dark Knight. Joe Tiger, I want to see him kick the Joker's ass one more time. Like, that movie works on every level. It's Shakespearean. Probably should have won a few Academy Awards. It really represents the best that the genre has to offer, probably, at least
Mark,
from the
what
DC.
are you picking?
I actually get to pick the one I wanted. Batman Returns. I think Batman Returns is a forgotten classic. I think that Michael Keaton is the best Bruce Wayne in Batman we've ever had. I believe that he was tormented. I believe that that's what he would do. Heath Ledger is great in The Dark Knight, but I don't think the rest of the movie is as great as him. I think he elevates the rest of the movie. I think Christian Bale's a mediocre Batman at best. Michelle Pfeiffer, if genre movies got the respect then that they were getting now, she would have won an Oscar for playing Catwoman. It's an amazing performance that still holds up to this day. It's a crazy dark movie that helped. Tim Burton went from making Batman, which was a huge hit, and he went and said, for the sequel, I'm going to push the boundaries and make a darker movie. For all intents and purposes, he made a $200 million fetish movie as a big summer release, and Warner Brothers wasn't thrilled with it, but we wouldn't have...
Neither were children.
We wouldn't have... but
Neither would McDonald's. They had Happy Meals for that.
I know. We wouldn't have Deadpool. We wouldn't have had Nolan's Dark Knight if Burton hadn't pushed the boundaries with that. I think Danny DeVito is terrifying as...
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Penguin.
terrible, because I was going to be like, you're absolutely right, but you went defying, and
creepy.
I think the movie, you rewatch the movie's aged incredibly well. I think the movie is a movie in a lot of ways is just as important in the history of the Batman franchise as Dark Knight is as far as pushing boundaries. And I think that the movie, it's the one movie where the design of Gotham City really, really works. It felt a little cold and a little British in the first movie, and in the Schumacher movies, it just feels like it's the world's worst gay club in Miami. But in Batman Returns, the Gotham City feels like a living, breathing thing that isn't over-designed for design's sake. So.
All right, we got Batman Returns versus Batman Begins versus The Dark Knight. Let's do it.
Oh,
Fight.
Mark,
tough.
you cannot fucking tell me that the Gotham City of Batman Returns is remotely believable. Whenever they have a crowd scene, 20 people populate Gotham. They're like, the city's here for the tree lighting.
But you
20 people are fucking there.
But you can't tell me that a guy that puts on a bat suit and fights crime is believable. I'm not talking about believability. I'm talking about artifice, and the movie embraces the artifice of being in a soundstage. There's nothing wrong with that. Look at The Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight doesn't look remotely real. It looks like a movie, but that as a stylistic choice, I think, is really, really interesting. And yes, there are things about it that are like that. But for me, the movie is just so ambitious and trying to be so weird and embracing. Anytime you reference, Max Schreck and German expressionism the way that he did in that movie, and Michelle Pfeiffer, that was a first to have an A-list actress like that commit to play a character that was known for just purring and licking her hand.
I know, but you can't give her an Academy Award retroactively for delivering a line like "Life's a bitch, now so am I." Come on, dude, that was not like a great performance. It was an okay performance. Like, in the way that you were like, Bale was mediocre.
But you're gonna
her Catwoman was good. Her Sleep Cow was
but in
good.
the same breath, you're gonna say that Dark Knight is one of the best films in the history of the American canon, and Christian Bale is so one note in those movies. He's the least interesting character in the franchise, the Chris Nolan. And I love the Chris Nolan movies, but he's just like, every time he talks, it's like, take a Halls and have some honey and some tea. It's like he doesn't care. It's one color the whole time.
But that's what's brilliant about that movie, that even though we all have the same complaint about Christian Bale's voice and the that voice and stuff, we all go like, damn, that movie's it's better than that choice that actor made.
But it's all because of Heath Ledger.
These are all nitpicks because they're all good movies, and I'm afraid to say anything bad about The Dark Knight on the internet.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm really just trying to stay silent on this one.
That's why I'm going to win.
I'll only say that it was so ambitious, and Heath Ledger really does overshadow the rest of the movie. We forget about Maggie Gyllenhaal. We forget about...
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's easy to do. It takes on so many deep philosophical themes, the law versus vigilantism, the post 9/11 security apparatus, and maybe the movie's not quite equipped to handle that when you got a bad guy punching people. I mean, it's an overbloated movie.
Batman Begins.
The Dark Knight. I think Batman Begins is a perfect streamlined movie.
Come on, dude. The third act train, we gotta stop the train before the microwave makes all the swords blow up. The guy literally does exposition for 3 of us in the audience going, what's happening?
Yeah, it doesn't matter
3 of us in the audience going, what's happening? Everybody going, what? Miss? Train?
Yeah,
Vapor?
okay, so they kind of rush through the third act.
And also,
Is that
one of the
Joffrey?
weakest villains, too, in terms of all the
Ra's al
Batman
Ghul
movies.
was cool.
Ra's al Ghul's cool because we all like fucking Liam Neeson, but in terms of being a villain, very unmemorable.
Because
And
it's Batman's movie.
and
I want a movie where
plan-
Batman overshadows the other characters.
But Batman
I
doesn't
don't.
overshadow anybody in Batman Begins. Batman, once again, Christian Bale's the least interesting Batman
I
we've
disagree.
had.
I think he plays it well of the...
He plays it so understated, he almost becomes scenery.
He's not scenery. I mean, he doesn't have the... You believe that there's rage lurking underneath him. He's cool.
I don't believe there's anything lurking underneath him. All he plays is glum.
I'm
He
with
just
him.
plays-
I don't believe it in Batman Begins, but in The Dark Knight, I believe Christian Bale took a huge jump.
Because of Heath Ledger, because Heath Ledger pulls it
Well, he
out of
brought
him.
his game up.
But that one performance, if you remove the Heath Ledger performance from Dark Knight, the movie crumbles. And I think Heath Ledger's performance, I think he would have won the Oscar had he lived. I think that performance is a transformational performance. When he got cast, I was like, oh, this is going to be awful. And I could watch him every day. But I don't think the movie is as good as the rest of the movie is as good as him. And I think Batman Begins is a decent start, but there's a reason why that movie did 1/18 of the budget of the box office as this movie.
But
That
Batman
movie was-
Returns, we're going to talk about budget.
yeah,
Batman Returns was a franchise killer, so much so that they brought
had
in
to bring
Joel
on
Schumacher
Schumacher to
to
turn it into a
fucking make it
rave.
happen. Exactly.
but it was an ambitious movie that I think is important in what it allowed other movies to do in comic book genres.
I'm all for
and film.
doing a dark, dirty Batman, but he did a bait and switch on these kids. After Batman '89, he was sending children crying out of the theater with Batman Returns.
because the first Batman movie was so light and Disney-esque.
But also,
didn't
I
need
would
to go
argue that,
darker.
of all the Batman movies, we know that every director doesn't seem as interested in the main character as they are the villains, but that one is the most egregious. Number one, it's the first introduction of wait, we need more than one villain. Let's bring in another villain, which set a really bad
Both
fucking
raised
precedent.
by animals.
Oh my God, good fucking point.
No, only one was raised by
but it was,
Kellen
and
was
to
raised
me,
by
like
cats
the
and penguins
least
raised by
Batman
penguins, right?
of the Batman movies. The only Batman moment in that movie to me is when they're in the sewers, he's in the bat skiff, and he's racing toward the penguin's lair. And all of a sudden, those two penguins come up and launch missiles, and he reels back, and the bat skiff goes around. And there's one moment, man, that's what I love about that movie for this one moment. Skiff rights itself, and he's driving. Michael Keaton just does this so subtly. He goes, just barely looks back, and all it communicated was, what a fucking life I have. I almost got killed by penguins. Like, it was amazing.
But I think
the rest of the movie, not really.
I think Keaton was the best Batman we've had, the best Bruce Wayne. I really felt, the torment.
He's not
there.
the best Bruce Wayne. Maybe the
Oh,
best
he was
Batman.
absolutely the best Bruce Wayne. He was the most believable Bruce Wayne.
Actually, thus far, I would agree with you.
I think absolutely.
He seemed haunted.
He's like a
He
weird.
seemed haunted. He
Decent.
seemed
He was
damaged.
always
He
decent.
seemed
Bruce Wayne's a
damaged and
playboy.
good.
He's like
That-
gregarious.
Bruce Wayne
He's got a
pretends
point,
to be a
too.
playboy. He pretends to be a playboy, and
He's got a good point.
never once in
bad
the Christian
actor,
Bale
then.
movies when Bruce Wayne's pretending to be a playboy, he's got all these hot girls around him. He never once seems even remotely happy. Every time he gets out of a car, he's got those two Russian ballerinas in the Dark Knight. He's like, I got the hot Russian ballerinas who are double
He's
jointed
still hung
everywhere.
up on Maggie.
Final thoughts, Mark. Final thought.
I need to win one or I'm out. So
That's not nice.
What a desperate, honest final thought that was.
Kevin, final thought.
hashtag honest.
Final thoughts. I think the running right here is Batman Begins and Dark Knight. And let's be honest, Dark Knight. That's how we'll always remember Batman, at least until Zack Snyder shows us the rest of that amazing looking Batman footage that we've seen in trailer 3 for Batman v Superman.
Spencer, final thought.
You're scared me as a kid, and yours is Heath Ledger's movie. Mine's the only Batman movie.
Was it
Dan.
Spencer's favorite Batman?
What are they saying on the
Batman Borgins? Are you fucking serious, dude? You could have picked anything. You went with that. I love it.
Well, Kevin, Matthew Kearns at Matthew Kearns on Twitter, surprised you didn't choose your own brief turn as Batman and Mallrats. Well, the non-official Batman.
I can't rank that. That's not canon.
It should be though. And a lot of people saying Batman '89. A lot of people saying Under the Red Hood. But the big Twitter favorite that did not get mentioned in this round is Batman Mask of the
Mask of the
Phantasm.
Phantasm.
The fuck, really? There's
that in
love for
theaters?
Mask of the
A
Phantasm.
Was that in
lot of
theaters?
love for
Yeah, it
Mask
was in
of the
theaters.
Phantasm.
Good on you, people.
I thought that was like a straight to DVD.
No, it was in
film.
No, it
Oh,
played in
shit.
theaters. Those
Okay.
of us old
My
enough
bad.
to remember, Spencer. I know you were still probably sperm in someone's balls, but
in
we
some-
saw that in the movie.
You were drying on a mattress when that movie.
All right. Anything else? We're good?
No, that's it.
I think they both crushed you, Mark, on Batman Returns. As
Shocking.
much as that, I wanted to give you the points. So it came down to Spencer and Kevin, and then I think you hurt yourself there, Spencer, because you're like, I can't make fun of Dark Knight because the internet's gonna hate me. You're right, but you needed to give it a little bit, and you didn't go all the way for me. So based on those, I got to give Kevin the point, which makes us 2-2. Which makes this last point really just an extra point for either of them, or no point if they're tied. Mark, you're not going to be able to make the final, sadly. But
I wore a costume.
Never commit
really nice
to the
plug
costume.
from Kevin on air. So I think
Totally. You know
by
what?
the
You may
last
not
time.
have won
I
this
won't be
game, but
doing
you're
his
the
shows
winner in the
anymore.
room.
This is the last time I'm on Screen Junkies.
No,
I'm
man.
I'm kidding.
Well, you'll find nothing but love, and there are no winners or losers.
Yes.
We're all win.
All right,
well,
but we
I guess
have
there are winners.
this is for extra points here, or if Mark wants to not have a goose egg, this is for you. So we still please fight it. Round 5 comes from Shah Bakat.
Shave your what?
No, I'm saying something wrong. Anyway, they're asking, in honor of the soul-crushing job of Clerks, what is the worst job of any character in movies? That's the question. You guys pulled some deep ones. You had 2, I think. You can pick whatever one you want.
Well, since it doesn't matter, I'll mention both.
You got to pick one.
Okay. Can I let the internet vote?
I gotta look up mine. I forget
Sure.
what I
Since
wrote
it doesn't
down.
matter, Mark, give both options, and you can let the audience
Oh,
decide.
mine's good.
Who were your 2 choices?
My
quickly?
2 were either the boy toy of Baron Harkonnen and David Lynch's Dune,
or
Oh my God! What a great poll.
or the lawyers for the Boston Archdiocese in Spotlight.
Tough.
all
Relevant.
right. So you get to vote real quick while Spencer and Ken go to see which one you want Mark to argue. In the meanwhile, Spencer, what did you pick?
I picked the guy at the bottom of the oil well in Waterworld. I don't know if you guys have forgotten about it. I actually sent the clip to JT, so you guys can check out who this guy is. JT, roll the clip. This is him. This is where he lives.
This cost $15 million, just the scene.
That's really all you need to say right there. Right before death, he says, "Oh, thank God, that's a bad job." He has a job that could be done by a long stick. He just sits there and checks the level of the oil. Dennis Hopper spits on him occasionally. That's all he gets to do. He doesn't see the light. He doesn't get a lot of food. He's just there to check the oil on a shitty movie water tanker.
All right, Kevin, what do you got?
I might, I'm in the win column
Yeah.
thus far, so I
Yes.
could really
You can
like
change
spend
it?
my vote. I was gonna go John Merrick, the Elephant Man. Terrible job. I'm not a human. I'm not an animal. I'm human is the other thing. So I was gonna go that. But I think I'm gonna change midstream and go Alfred. Batman's Alfred. You gotta fix up someone you love on a regular basis. Could you imagine someone you love as deeply as Alfred loves Bruce Wayne? He raised him from being a boy and whatnot. He's been his only family. The dude goes out and punishes himself every night, gets things broken, lacerations, blood everywhere. This guy is up to one man to put this man back together and stuff. So that's the emotional beat right there. But now I propose and submit to you all, one man has to run a massive estate for a billionaire. Guy won't hire any other fucking help because you don't want anyone finding out a secret.
No
so one
maids?
old man,
Nothing. Batman doesn't have a maid.
One old
Alfred just
man-
puts on the duster and takes the whole mansion
wears
down.
many
Alfred
hats.
dresses like a maid sometimes, but that's the R-rated Batman movie.
Which hopefully Ben Affleck's gonna make. But I'm telling you, this is a guy who does too many jobs. He wears too many fucking hats. He's paid as a manservant, but he's beyond that, man. Think about it. He has to do everything. He had to build the Batcave with Bruce. It's not like Bruce did it by himself. So I don't know what he's getting paid, but it ain't fucking enough.
Sounds like a cool job, though. I mean, you get to help Batman. That's awesome.
Why is
All
that
right,
cool?
well, hold on. Do we get,
That makes you
do
a
we get
human target.
Do we get any quick results for Mark?
We're on a delay, so I'm just now starting to get them in. Right now, it's tied 3-3.
One more vote.
So whenever
Next
the
vote
next
calls
the next
it.
vote that comes in, I will call it. It's I'm waiting. They do think that this one person thinks that Mark got robbed in the Batman round. Right.
Wow, somebody really
Thanks,
likes
Mom.
Batman Returns.
At Mr. G. Willikers while I wait for.
I think that was
else
probably
vote?
Michelle Pfeiffer who was like, he was right.
Michelle Pfeiffer is at Mr. G. Willikers on Twitter. That's good to know. All right, hey, we got 6 new results. Let's see what we go in here.
Wow,
don't
man,
be
this
tied
is,
again.
boy.
this is cutting edge
Yeah,
fucking programming
live
right
television.
here.
No more new votes.
All right.
This is like the bus on speed.
Just pretend.
The boy toy, actually.
You got it?
I got one for the boy toy.
Alright, fine.
Thematically consistent.
Yeah.
Boy toy is a 2 to 3 hour job a day max. I
That
mean,
guy-
you
Not
got the
in,
rest of the
not in
time off.
Dune. If
Have
you've
you
seen this
seen
guy,
Dune? Have
it's a
you seen
life-ending
Baron-
proposition.
Baron Harkonnen's floating and
he
giant. The guy is lancing his boils that are undulating.
So explain for those who don't know, Mark, quickly.
Yeah, Baron Harkonnen's this evil lord who wants to kill Paul Atreides on the planet of Arrakis and Dune. He's so fat he floats. He has an anti-gravity suit because he can't walk, and he has these pustules that are erupting the whole movie. And he's also some weird kinky pedophile. And there's this boy, this hairless boy who has a heart plug, and he makes this boy drain his boils, and then he gets off by pulling off the heart plug and watches this boy bleed out as he gets off.
That's a bad job.
It's basically like being a member of the Boston Archdiocese. So they kind of tie into one another. It's disgusting. And your guy at least dies fast. Okay, he's down there. He's an old guy. He doesn't know where the fuck he is.
Thanks
He's
the
100 years old.
Lord
And then
that
boom,
he's
he
died
dies
for the
quickly.
sweet release of
This
death.
guy has some pustule floating tumor jerk off over him as he dies.
This is like, that's like dying at the
Guys, I don't
hands of
wanna
a
delay this.
masturbating
Yeah,
Kevin
wow.
Smith.
Mark, you get the point.
Hey, on the board.
I mean, come on, he does get to work for Batman. And your
Something.
guy
Why is
isn't. I mean, this guy had it worse.
That's real bad.
I called that one early.
That's good because as Mark was talking, a lot of spotlight votes came in. So
There you go.
Thank God we didn't have to go political and relevant.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Mark, congrats, you got on the board. Woo! So that still makes it 2-2. It makes it a tie going into the
All right.
finals with Kevin and Spencer.
Let's do
Mark,
this.
you got it. I'm glad. Thank you. You were close. One away, but you're gonna have to help me now with speed round. You can go ahead if you want.
Peel. Take
you get
it
your
off.
pen-
Take
pens.
it off.
Thank you.
Take it off.
like
But now,
this.
speed round. You guys have played this before. Let's get right into it. You'll have 15 seconds. First person to say theirs first gets to say it. If you both say it at the same time, whoever said it first gets it. You have to pick another one.
Do it.
You'll have 15 seconds and then 5-second rebuttals. Here we go, guys. Question 1. Who is the best Ghostbuster?
Dang.
Bankman.
Oh, I thought we had to ring in. I didn't know that we could just yell shit out.
Sorry, yeah, you gotta yell it out.
Well, doesn't Ding come before Bankman? And I went first.
Did you want to pick Bankman?
Bankman.
Spencer?
Wait, no. I'm taking Venkman.
No. Is that your argument? No. I win.
You got a bunch of questions.
How about no Venkman? Best Ghostbuster.
Egon. And I'll tell you why.
Hold on.
Because
Hold on.
Wait, I can't pick Venkman?
No, he took Venkman out. You're left with Louis.
I asked the
Tully.
second question. Best Ghostbuster is not Venkman.
Leslie Jones.
And I gave you both the same shot.
Yeah. I'm blanking.
He gets
was that
eliminated
unfair?
by the. Come on, look at the time.
I'm blanking on their names.
Oh my God! He can't win not
Dan
knowing
Aykroyd.
the Ghostbusters. That's not a Ghostbuster. That's an actor.
Well, here's the problem. I feel bad because clearly I didn't explain it clear enough because I thought Kevin understood it. So I was trying to be fair. Dan, what do you think? I'm just asking a second opinion.
See,
Dan's like, I haven't given a shit in
Spencer-
10 minutes.
It's checked out a long time
If
ago.
Spencer was able to remember more Ghostbusters, I might just say move on. But I'm kind of annoyed that Spencer can't remember
I
any
know,
of
right?
Favorite movie.
Right? That's your heritage.
But he didn't say
ding, ding.
Venkman first.
Yeah.
My second choice was Egon.
That's all he knew. Everyone knows
tied.
that.
The other one.
That's like going, I
listen.
love Bugs Bunny at the
Cancel
Looney
it.
They're
Tunes.
Move on.
tied. It's a close game. I don't want to hear about it on Twitter.
Cancel it out. Moving on.
You
Okay.
guys should be involved in sports.
Now, Kevin, that was called a test. That was your practice.
right, so now I know.
Now we're
Warmed
on
up.
it.
I'm not ringing any bells. I'm just saying shit.
All right, I got a picture. Don't show yet, but I got a picture. You're going to look at the TV screen. This is a bargain bin. People send us in 2 movies from the bargain bin. You have to pick which one should we buy, and your choices are The Bounty Hunter or The Ugly Truth.
Ugly Truth.
Fuck.
I'm taking the Ugly Truth.
Okay, hold on. Gerard Butler movies. That means Kevin's got Ugly Truth. Spencer, you get The Bounty Hunter. Okay, Ugly Truth. Go ahead, Kevin. 15 seconds.
Come on, it's Heigl, dude. It's Heigl.
It's
You know what I
Heigl.
like to do? I like to go home, get high, watch Heigl. She delivers, man. Even when she's not good in a picture, you got all the gossip about how bad she was on a set in the movie to look up online while you're watching the movie. Plus, it's Jerry Butler showing his pecs again.
Okay, 15 seconds, Spencer.
Well, Heigl, you're talking about all the bad rumors going around her on set. She's supposed to be the most unlikable person in the world. She's cold off camera and on screen. I don't want to watch that in a rom-com. I want America's sweetheart, Jennifer Aniston, my crush from Friends from the 90s and onward. I just want to see her have a fun romp, and what I think might appeal to guys, it's a bounty hunter. Who knows?
5-second rebuttal. It's about the arguments, Mark.
Who the
Right.
fuck likes vanilla ice cream? Put a little life in your fucking ice cream. Tutti fruity it up, man. Put some coconut in that
Hey,
shit.
fuck that ice cream.
5 seconds.
Catherine
5 seconds.
Heigl is soy vegan ice cream. It's so flavorless. At least Jennifer Aniston's got a little bit in there.
Wow, I think that last one really sealed the deal on
It really
Spencer for me.
did.
Mark, where do you stand based on the arguments?
I was with Kevin until he said soy vegan ice cream, man. I would have gone with Jennifer Aniston being Greek yogurt.
Dan,
but
would you agree?
Yeah.
That last one really solid,
Yeah,
Spencer.
that's a
All right.
knockout blow.
Well
All
done,
right, you
Spencer.
got it.
Thanks, buddy.
You tagged me.
All right, here we go.
on the
Number,
ropes. I
number
was on the
2.
ropes.
This is number
Okay.
2. Best Kurt Russell movie.
Big
Escape
Trouble in
from
Little
New York.
China.
Good. You both had different ones, so I hope you won't mess that one up. We asked that previously, but so you had thought about this. Now you only have 15 seconds to tell us. Big Trouble, Little China from Spenny, and
I'm gonna change my vote.
no, you got to say what you said.
I said originally Tombstone.
No, but you said what did you say?
Escape from New York.
You said
I know,
Escape from
but
New York.
I wrote down Tombstone.
Well, now you
I
got to
didn't know
escape.
that. I'd already given my answer before.
You got to go Escape from New
I
York.
could-
Hey, I
defend
can't name a
Escape.
second
But you
Ghostbuster.
get to go second. So think about
I
it.
got
Here we
time.
go. 15 seconds. Big Trouble in Little China. Spencer, go.
Okay, speaking of America's sweetheart, America loves Kurt Russell. I like lovable Kurt Russell, and he's at his most lovable in Big Trouble in Little China. I like him when he's sweet, when he's a buffoon, and he carries that movie, which is so unique. It's one of one. There will never be another movie like Big Trouble in Little China. Action, comedy, martial arts, magic.
Kevin, you have 15 seconds for Escape from New York.
I don't have to sell Escape from New York. I can be quiet for 15 seconds. It sells itself. However, you can point to Kurt Russell's defining performance as Snake Plissken as the birth of the modern-day action movie hero. I would argue that almost every action movie hero that has come since Escape from New York has been modeled on Snake Plissken, including Die Hard's John
5
Cleese.
seconds, Spencer.
Snake Plissken's modeled by like Charles Bronson in Death Wish, and earlier like Mad Max. You always have quiet anti-heroes.
5 seconds, Kevin.
Yes, but he made it mainstream, and now everybody is that character. So he defined it.
Dan, I'm coming to you first, based on the arguments.
Wow, it's unique versus resonant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 51-49. I got to edge toward Kevin a little bit.
That's where I was as well. Mark?
I would say I was going towards Spencer, but then he said that it was Big Trouble in Little China was magical and a one-of-a-kind film, except every Hong Kong film ever made.
I meant literal magic, like sorcery.
Yeah, except
So
every
you're going
Hong
with
Kong
Kevin,
film.
3 to Kevin. All right,
Kevin,
that's,
yeah.
we're still tied.
All right.
Wow, still tied. All right, here we go. Number 3. Pick one. Ben Affleck or Matt Damon?
Ben Affleck.
Okay, Matt Damon.
All right, Kevin, you go first. Ben Affleck. Why did we pick him? What's
His
the
dick's bigger. Ben Affleck, I've always said, is one of my favorite actors on the planet. I think he's a wonderful actor. I think, as I've said many times, if they remake Jaws, Affleck can play the fucking shark. I believe in the dude, and now we're seeing him come through in Batman. He's always been a wonderful dramatic actor, but now he's ready to take the reins of major movie stardom as Batman himself. He's looking like the best Batman we've ever had.
I think with Ben Affleck, the highs are higher, but the lows are a lot lower. He went through that phase in the late 90s, early 2000s, which was a bunch of stinkers. Matt Damon has had the higher batting average and is more consistent. You know what you're getting with Matt Damon.
Okay, Kevin, yeah?
When you say stinkers, do you mean mine?
Geely.
All right, that was in the aughts,
And,
dude. That wasn't in the
reindeer
90s.
games.
I still, for my money, look, Matt's a wonderful actor, don't get me wrong, but Ben Affleck is your friend. Ben Affleck is a guy you watch a movie, you're like, I can hang a beer with that guy. I could get high with that guy.
Okay, last rebuttal, Spencer.
I think as far if you also look at defining performance, I think Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting is better acting than you'll ever see Ben Affleck in anything.
Mark, going to you first, based on the arguments.
What was the specific wording of the question again? Was it better actor or better movie
Pick
star?
one.
Just pick one.
Pick one.
Pick one, better.
I gotta say that I think Matt is a better actor.
Based on their arguments,
But based
though.
on their arguments, I would give it to Kevin. And Spencer kind of helped him by saying that Ben had that period where nobody thought anything, when he couldn't get arrested, the whole Paycheck, Reindeer Games, Phantoms, all
Fucking
these
Jersey
awful,
Girl piece of shit.
all these awful movies. And then he pulled himself from the ashes. And I think all those failures are why he's going to be a great Batman.
So you heard that from Kevin.
So-
Dan, who'd you pick?
Oh my God, Dan's masturbating.
Furiously
We caught him.
Dan just
We
orgasmed.
caught him.
Slash fiction over there.
He's quick. He's quick, guys.
I think I gotta side with Spencer on this one. It's close. Again, you two are very evenly matched. It's very close.
Spencer is basically me in another universe. Earth 2.
Darkest timeline, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I think it's
Thinnest
tough.
timeline,
and
Kevin Smith.
It's tough, and I hate to do it, but it's about. I just heard a few more things out of Spencer's mouth in time. Just so a lame way to do it, but you did it. I think.
Quantity over quality,
Yeah,
baby.
Spencer just
Wow.
eked it out based on the quantity.
sad.
That puts Spencer out a point ahead.
Yes.
We still got 2 more.
Yes.
So you're still ahead,
Kevin,
Kevin.
must win for Kevin on this.
Still
one.
alive.
Okay,
This
this is
is,
a must
right?
win.
Yes, it is.
Sudden death round.
Yeah,
for
so
me.
Spencer wins this, then it's over. All right. Best movie featuring a mall.
Mall
Dawn of the
Rats.
Dead.
Oh, fuck, you're going to win. God damn it, you're going to win. Why did I pick my own movie? I can't even defend it against that movie. Fuck.
Dawn of the Dead. Go ahead, Spencer. 15 seconds.
This is before zombie movies were played out. This is an original setting for a zombie movie, and the setting was so organic and so important to that movie of the mall, where they had to incorporate the defenses and the items in the mall to beat off this zombie horde. Winky winky. Mallrats was a hilarious comedy that I love. Set in a mall. Dawn of the Dead needs the mall.
Kevin, you got 15 seconds.
I would absolutely argue that Dawn of the Dead does not need the mall, and it's so not a mall movie that they won't even put the word mall in the title. They're afraid of it, the way like Green Arrow only calls it Arrow. My movie's called Mallrats, kids. Puts it on Front Street, tells you what you're gonna get. You're gonna see mall action. Everyone's gonna get mauled.
Wow, all right, you brought it.
I have to sell mall movies.
5 seconds.
I don't think putting the name of the thing in the title makes it more about that.
Yes, it
I don't think
does.
Mall of the Dead is a movie I want to watch. Dawn of the Dead, it needs that mall to work, and
All
it works
right,
great.
rebuttal. Kevin, last word.
You can't have a movie called Mallrats without a mall. The mall was central to the entire plot, plus there's romance in it. Everyone gets eaten and killed in Dawn of the Dead.
All right. Wow, this is tough. Mark, based on the arguments.
Based on the arguments, I want a re-release of Mallrats on Blu-ray with the tagline, "Everyone's gonna get mauled."
It's the cell.
In fact, I'm gonna order 5 copies of it on Amazon when I leave tonight.
So you're picking Kevin.
Based on the arguments,
Based on the argument,
Kevin
Dan.
came from behind, man.
That's what I do. That's how I roll, Mark. You know it. That's what they tell you.
Just not in the face.
Do I have to turn in my zombie fan credentials if I choose Kevin? Because
It's based on the
arguments,
Dude, I missed my call. I
featuring
should
a
have been a
mall,
lawyer.
the fact that the mall is so central. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm with you because I think you did say you didn't need them all in that, and it's a point you need them all.
Yeah.
And it is. It sounds like unanimous. Kevin's still in the game.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Finally, Mallrats panned out for me.
Mallrats won something.
Oh my Lord!
It's based on the argument.
It's taken 21 years, but damn it,
Should have
it
just been
panned
called
out.
Rats.
All right, here we go. The last one. This is it.
Oh shit.
Please tell me the best movie robot.
C-3PO. Fuck.
Movie robot.
Too late. Too
Yeah,
late.
Not too late. Hold on.
Come on, he's thinking
The
too
Iron
hard.
Giant.
Iron Giant versus C-3PO. Wow. Okay. Kevin, you said it first, so you're up first. C-3PO.
I don't even know why I put C-3PO. It was the
All right.
first
Well, as
robot
soon
I
as you,
had.
I'll let
Here we go.
Go.
Start the clocks.
C-3PO, ladies and gentlemen, he speaks the language of moisture evaporators, and that's what you want in a robot. You want a robot that can talk to other robots. That way you can get along with other robots. That kind of robot is exciting. Iron Giant, what did he ever do?
Spencer, what did he ever do?
The Iron Giant does more in a few words than C-3PO does in 6 movies worth. We like C-3PO for in little doses, but he ruins the prequels. He's just an annoying little nit. The Iron Giant has heart, and he's cool, and he's like a secret robot weapon with all kinds of awesome nukes under the skin. He's a complicated character. C-3PO's a butler.
You got a couple extra seconds, Kevin. Go ahead.
Excellent point. He does have nukes in him. Is that the kind of robot you want to hang out with, ladies and gentlemen? C-3PO doesn't have any nuclear warheads. He has no weapons whatsoever. He's not offensive.
Last 5 seconds,
Is
Spencer.
C-3PO the kind of robot you want to hang out with? He's fucking obnoxious. Oh, sir. Oh dear. Oh, which way will we go, master?
I like British people, so yes.
Okay, you get one last thought. He got one in.
I hate British people, so no.
Oh, he lost!
Oh man, this is tough.
Because you hate British people too.
Oh yeah, who doesn't? No. You had it, and then he used the nuke against you. That's a part I'm having trouble basing
How
my
amazing is
arguments.
that? I
Why would
used
you
his
want to
nukes
hang out with
against
the
him.
nukes? Because it is true, and I was waiting for that because he's really dangerous.
Yep. You don't want your boy hanging out with
I
him.
don't remember if that's turned offable or if he's always dangerous. So I will vote. I want to go back to you guys because I'm leaning towards Kevin, but Dan, where do you stand?
I was leaning towards Spencer, actually.
Because you like dangerous shit.
Yeah.
I was
Fair
going
enough.
towards it's like he's gonna kill you or he's annoying, and I went with I feel like the argument of he's gonna kill you is a little stronger for me, but I could go. But let's see if I need to make my decision.
Based on the arguments, I would go, not based on the actual movies or that sort of thing, but based on the arguments, I would go C-3PO, because C-3PO is actual functional in your real life. The Iron Giant, not only does he have nukes, but where the fuck are you going to put him? He's so enormous. It's just
So
like...
so
the
it comes
Junkies.
down to
Aniston's
me.
in that too.
He didn't say that. That didn't come up
He
as an
didn't say that,
argument.
but he did. But he did say the dangerous part, which is what I was listening for, and it came down to me: more dangerous or more annoying. I'd rather live.
I'd rather not be radioactive.
That's why I have a career.
Rather
More dangerous
live,
or more
so I got-
annoying?
if you will, so that means I give it to C-3PO, which means does that give Kevin the win?
Yes, it does.
That's it.
I really thought you had it, Spencer.
Close but no cigar.
Wow. I can't believe I pulled that one out.
That's a bar
C-3PO.
burner.
That's two. 2-0. You and Max are both 2-0. I think Dan.
Dan, I'm coming for
I think
you.
Max and Kevin are gonna have to take you on. You and Max Landis have both won 2 and never lost any, and I think you gotta go for the belt. We're gonna have to put it
I
out
feel
there.
like this is rigged, like it's Rocky 3, and you've been putting me in soft fights. And I'm gonna find out that I'm not
beat
the
him last
fighter.
time. So I think he's got to do it with the belt line. They're asking for a belt round. Let's make it. Will you come back and be on a belt edition?
Absolutely. I'll come out
Can I
and be on the
co-judge
belt
on that
list.
one? I want to be a guest judge.
That'll be a fun one. All right, we'll work on that. So get ready. Everyone's been asking Dan. I think it's time. We're gonna plan this.
I think we've got to
And
do it.
I think I gotta put Max.
You can put the
and-
belt on the line?
Max
I
and
put the
Kevin.
belt on the line.
I think we gotta do a longer
Hey, fool.
tournament
Hey, fool.
where they
You
have to
should've
fight
never
to
came
get
back.
Kevin and Max, who then fit to like we did. So we're gonna work on something
We'll
big.
figure it
We'll
out.
figure out some fun. Wow, thank you guys. That was a lot of fun.
fun.
Kevin, Mark, Spencer. Wow, really
job.
brought it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Really, really good time.
That was tough.
Where can people find you, Mark? Marc Andreyko on Twitter. Any other books?
And I was the stunt double in this movie. It's in theaters right now.
Great. They can find you on Twitter. Go support him. Kevin Smith, wonderful to always have you. Please, link in the description below. Go support and subscribe to Kevin's new YouTube channel to see Fat Man and Batman with Mark. It's so funny and fun and informative. And you get really fantastic guests. We want to make sure we send all of you guys
It's
over there to support it.
irritating like C-3PO, not deadly like the Iron Giant. That's what we always say.
Go get Maul.
And that Kevin Smith on Twitter. And then Spencer Gilbert, Spencer J. Gilbert. You were so close.
I apologize to the British. British. I love you guys. You've had many important
That's right.
cultural
You threw the
artifacts.
British under the bus to
Yeah,
win,
I was
and
just
now
trying to do it for a that was a low blow. If you're here on Screen Junkies, you're already watching it all, so go support these guys.
Dan Murrell at Murrell Dan on Twitter.
At Merle Dan on Twitter, and they're appropriate enough. Holy Hotcakes Batman at Batman Works Out on Twitter was keeping count. If you're playing along at home, Kevin, your dick joke count was 19 today.
Hey, that's
it's
not
pretty
bad.
good.
That's not bad.
We're going to be here with After the Fights. I think we might Kevin for 1 minute on there, but we will see. But stay tuned. We'll be doing something fun breaking down this fight, so join us if you're on watching on Plus. If not, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Every podcast we put on YouTube comes with this kick-ass graphic listing all the topics your favorite Screen Junkies podcasters are talking about. If you click the topics, you can skip around and choose your own podcast battle royale. Go ahead, try them all. If you haven't already, subscribe to Screen Junkies on YouTube to join us for future fights. Or if you prefer to listen on iTunes, click the logo to download an audio version.